Yeah, let the big dog hunt. Hello again, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Kallas and Marks with the host Joe Staszak, co-host Steve Kallas. It is Wednesday night, taping a little early. Steve's got some things to do tomorrow. And congratulations on your nuptials again, Steve. It's a fantastic time. You and Joyce, congratulations. We were going to tape this start this a long time ago. Thought we'd catch a little ESPN top of the first 15 minutes. So we had all our facts straight whenever. Do you want to hit him first, or do you want me to hit him first? Because I
Well,
was
I'm happy,
beside myself watching 13 minutes of
no,
WNBA.
because of my schedule, you had a good idea. Let's do this tonight. Let's do it at 11. And then I said, well, we should watch Sports Center 11 to 11:15. We'll get certainly the top three games at least. So we both watched it at 11 o'clock. Nothing against the WNBA, and I know they show a ton of games on ESPN. So they went from a WNBA game to Sports Center, and they started with the highlights of one or two WNBA games, and then they went to a thing on Minnesota. I'm not sure about this 50 states in 50 days. I think they need filler till football season is what
They
that
did
is.
that about 20 years ago. They did something like that.
So we heard about Minnesota, then they went to a Rebecca Lobo interview and she had to tell her connection to Minnesota, and then they showed another highlight of another game. And then finally at like 11, 12, or 13, and we wanted to go on the air quickly, they at least got to Shohei Ohtani being taken out of the game as a pitcher, but under the rules, not taken out of the game as a pitcher, but could still stay and be the DH.
He's got
So
cramps pitching. Is that going to not affect his batting?
just bizarre. And as you know, he stayed in the game. He went 0 for 5, struck out once. Yesterday, he was 0 for 5. He struck out four times. And they lost to Cincinnati again tonight. Their lead is like three games. And frankly, I thought the Dodgers were going to run away with the regular season and maybe threaten some records
I did too. Not even
and win the
close.
World Series. But that hasn't happened. I just don't see. I understand you had a basketball crowd, so you started at Sports Center with basketball. But if you
Excuse me,
needed
what basketball crowd is this again?
the WNBA crowd,
To me, all right, let me just say this, and I have nothing against these chicks. I love Caitlin Clark, and if she's hitting 40-foot bombs, knock yourself out, or she's getting in a fight, I'm good with that. Angel Reese throwing a little bit of her. Otherwise, what am I watching here? It
well,
doesn't
I
interest
mean,
me.
the quality of play has improved. The attendance
Oh, it
has been
is. I
way
get
up,
it. I totally get
but
it.
you can't measure that against arguably one of the greatest players of all time. And he's, again, injured enough to come out of the game from pitching. He threw six balls in a row. He's supposed to go four innings today. I think it was in the fourth inning. He threw six balls in a row, two wild
Two
pitches.
wild pitches, yeah.
Six. So they came out and took him out, which is the smart thing. Then they left him in. If he had, what did they say? He had cramping or something in
Yeah, it
his,
had cramps.
but he was still good enough or not good enough. Again,
Not good enough.
0 for 5, 0 for 10 the last two games now with five strikeouts. So there's bigger questions, at least to me. And of course, they lost. So he's got to be a key factor for them down the stretch because I think he's going to have to pitch for them. This was baked in already that he was going to pitch and be good, but we were just looking up his stats, 7 innings pitched. I'm sorry, 7 games pitched, 15 innings total. That's, like not even two and a half innings.
No.
So I think there's something wrong with his rehab. I don't know if we'll hear about that or not. This is not arm related. Supposedly, this is leg related with cramps. But there's something that's not right that he hasn't gone. They want him to go four innings after six starts, Joe. I mean, guys
Well,
go to rehab in the minors. They pitch four innings and they come up and they pitch
right.
seven. So
My question to you, look, I know he's a two-trick pony. How good is he as a pitcher coming off Tommy? Look, he was the MVP and didn't throw a pitch last year. Does he need to pitch? Or
well,
they need him to pitch?
he certainly wants to, and they certainly gave him what they give him, 700 million, whatever
Oh,
the number
yeah.
is. I know they transferred it. It's
Yeah, it
always
was like, they gave him
like a
10,000 a year on the books, but
it's a Bobby Bonilla contract, we're calling it.
when he gets paid every yeah.
He still got paid. I think it was like
He
last month
did.
he
He
got
did. I
paid.
love that. It's
It's
Bobby
over
Bonilla Day. I
it's
love
over
that.
a million to like 2030 or something. But whatever, whatever. Look, he's a great player. I'm surprised I assume after the game, Roberts will say, "Oh, we asked him, he was fine. He took some swings, he felt great, and but now you're 0 for 10 with 5 strikeouts, which to me raises another question.
Yeah.
But we'll have to see what happens. But I kind of think that would be the lead story. It'll be interesting to see tomorrow morning. I always tape at 6 a.m. in the morning. It'll be interesting to see what the lead story is at 6 a.m. tomorrow. They play the same thing over at 1, 2, 3,
Yeah, sure.
6. And then at 7, they start with different shows. But I think that's a miss by them. Fortunately, there were other places to go to, so we went there. But we rely on ESPN a lot. Their tops, I get all that, but I think this was just kind of a mistake, frankly.
It was not good. It was not good. The trade deadline is, tomorrow approaching. Phillies and Mets in a pennant race. Both went out and got top-notch closers. I'll do the Phillies. You can do the Mets. And they didn't have to give up Andrew Painter. They're one of their or Crawford. That were two of their top-notch prospects. Dave Dombrowski finally did something before the trade deadline, something he hasn't done since he's been here. But they got it's pronounced Juan Duran, closer from Minnesota, and they gave up Mick Abel, who smoked Paul Skeens in that his first outing. He went eight shutout innings and won 1-0. And catching prospect Eduardo Tate. They didn't have to give up their stars, or at least their star prospects. They got a closer, a legitimate closer. The Phillies haven't had a legitimate one-person closer since John Papelbon, who was the all-time Phillies leader in saves with 123. Due respect to Brad Lidge, who had a perfect season in '08. But
And
listen, I'm cool with that.
and the Mets got Ryan Helsley from the Cardinals last year. He led the majors with saves with 49 saves. Hasn't been as good this year, but 49 saves. This year he's 21 for 26. His ERA is 3. Um, they still have Diaz as their closer, so he'll probably be the setup guy now, which they need help. And you also know yesterday I think it was Soto left the game with he hit got a sore foot or something, and he's out. I don't think he played today, and Soto's having a heck of a year. I didn't think he would hit 41 home runs without the short right field porch and Aaron Judge
And
behind him,
Aaron
but
Judge protecting him.
he has a chance to go 41. So, good for him, but they really, really need him. The Mets and the Yankees, to me, they're having their problems. On paper, they look great. And then, Aaron Judge isn't playing. Yankees did win tonight in 11 innings. Ryan McMahon, who's their newest star infielder, I mean, he's a great third baseman. He actually got the game-winning hit in the 11th inning. So the Yankees, I don't know if anybody's better than the Blue Jays, frankly,
Blue
but
Jays are rolling. All right, look,
yeah.
look, look, look. I'm just going to complain 2 seconds about the Phillies. They take two or three from the Yanks. They actually had a 2-0 lead in the first inning of Game 3. It looked like could maybe sweep them, Yankee Stadium. Then they go to the White Sox, who are the second worst team like in the history of the game, and they lose the first one. They win the second. Then they make the trade. A 4-hour rain delay today, 2-2 in the seventh. Lazaro, the pitcher, gives them seven straight hits. Did anyone think of pulling him at some point? A couple home runs. The only out he got in those 7 hits was Rojas throwing a guy out the plate, or it would have been because at the end of the inning it was not 2-2, it was 9-2 Chicago. And that to me, listen, it was a little bittersweet. I know it's one game, but end of the season, you look back on some of these games, disgraceful performance. And what's Rob Thompson letting him, throw to 7 guys who got 7 straight hits?
That is bizarre. I did want to mention briefly because we talked about him last week. Yu Darvish. What's wrong with Yu Darvish? I think he was 0-4 with a 9.18 ERA or something. Got knocked around his last start. But yesterday against the Mets, who still do have a pretty good lineup, Padres shut out the Mets 5-0. Yu Darvish, after giving up, I think 8 earned or 7 earned the last time he pitched. 7 innings pitched, 2 hits, no walks, 7 Ks. Gets the win, which he needed. But boy, I don't know how he turned it around like that, but he turned it around. And again,
Baseball,
for the
baseball.
For the Padres to be competitive, I think they wanted to rely on you, Darvish, to be a really good
Oh, I,
pitcher.
th I love the Padres lineup. They fall short like every year, but
Right.
they're kind of loaded,
100%.
dangerous.
But because we didn't knock you, Darvish, it was more what's wrong with him. But he certainly made a big comeback yesterday. Again, we're taping this Thursday now at like 11:30 or whatever time it is. But the Darvish pitched great against the Mets, and the Mets have a good lineup, so that's something for them to look forward to. Um, and the Yankees beat the Rays 5-4 in 11 innings. Grisham hit his 18th home run. As I said, Ryan McMahon, who there's a big pickup defensively at third. I feel bad that they let LeMahieu go, but boy, he's tried to come back and he's had a lot of injuries. How many guys have won batting titles in both leagues? Very few. He's one of them. So it's sad. I love the way he plays the game. And plus, he was a three out of four infielder position guy. Uh, but he didn't want to. I don't know if they wanted him to go to the minors or just play on the bench. He wasn't going to start at third. They got McMahon. He wasn't going to start at second because they wanted Chisholm to play at second, and that's what's happened now. Uh, Yankees without Judge, they might win some games, but that's not a good plan. Mets without Soto, they might win some games, but I don't think that's a plan either.
Well, how about this on the in the category of, are you kidding me? Braves are 17 games under 500, 16 games out, and the Pirates have two more wins than them.
Well, the Braves started off, what were they? 0-7? Oh, I mean, they
Yeah,
started
but
off
like
very.
okay, but like Acuna's back. I know he's hurt now, but what's the reason? I mean, they got what's his name back, the pitcher, Strider. Like
I
what?
don't know. That's a mystery because I thought they were almost at 500 and they were kind of in the mix for a while, but now they're not. And you're right, Acuna was out for a long time, and then yesterday he was running for I think he was running for a foul ball and they just took him out. But it is a calf injury. It's not an ACL or which he's had problems with, of course, or an Achilles. But he's in and out too much. He's one of these guys now. There's more. And
Right.
they, not to bring the WNBA into it, so many of their star players are getting hurt. It's really incredible. That's not something you want to copy from the NBA. But they miss Acuna. Of course, they won the World Series without him that one year, you'll recall. So
They also set amazing offensive records 2 years ago, and the Phils knocked them out in the first round. But how did they fall from grace to this year?
it's a problem. I don't know if they're going to look at the manager, who I thought had done a pretty good job. But as we always say, can't fire all the players.
That's true. And the Phillies, by the way, have his younger brother in the system, Acuna. But they always get like, the brother who like the Jeremy Giambi or like the Frank DiMaggio or whatever his name is. They always get the brother who doesn't do that much.
Well, one of them was Dom DiMaggio was a
Tom
pretty good player
DiMaggio,
for the Red Sox, but of course he wasn't close to Joe DiMaggio, but who is?
Stan
I did
Howard Chuck instead of Drew Howard. I mean,
I did want to talk about one other guy. So Andrew Vaughn from the Brewers came to the Brewers 21 games ago from the White Sox where he had okay stats. But he hit a grand slam against the Cubs yesterday, or Tuesday, I should say. I'm losing my days here because it's actually
I know.
that's yesterday from Wednesday.
Yeah, right.
But he has 5 home runs and 21 RBIs in 15 games since, including six yesterday, six RBIs against the Cubs. So he's really lit it up. And the trade deadline, what you said, is tomorrow. So we'll see what happens further there. But there's already, a lot has already started. I want to give you one more stat on credit to ESPN now. Yankees did beat the Rays yesterday, 7-5. When the Yankees don't make an error, they're 42 and 23. That's the fifth best in the major leagues this year. When the Yankees make one error or more, they're 15 and 26. That's
Oof.
23rd in Major League Baseball, which shows you why they've not only come back to the pack, but they're behind the Blue Jays. I think the Blue Jays are the best.
Blue
I
Jays
never
are
thought
rocking
they
and
were,
rolling.
but they're 100%. So, that's kind of a on the fly replay we can do, I guess. I did want to ask you about one of your old guys, though, from Philly. Did you hear what this happened on Tuesday? the Blue Jays got Sir Anthony Dominguez from the Orioles. Did you ever
Yes.
know
Go ahead, tell the story because this is amazing.
the Blue Jays, the Blue Jays and the Orioles were playing a doubleheader. Uh, Sir Anthony Dominguez in the first game was on the Orioles, but between games, he was traded to the Blue Jays. So he immediately put on a Blue Jays uniform. And he came in the seventh inning. He pitched one inning, scoreless, two strikeouts. The Orioles did beat the Blue Jays. I think that's happened before, though, where a guy
It
puts,
has. That's wild though.
but
Wild.
it's just when you see it. And they show them with his new teammates who are all laughing or smiling. And then they show them congratulating or being congratulated, I guess, by someone on the Orioles in the bullpen because he's a reliever. And it was just one of those funny things that probably happens in baseball. It can't really happen anywhere else because where you play
No,
leathers.
they don't have double headers.
So it was just, I don't know. I just thought it was pretty,
It's a great story.
yeah.
I
Final,
liked him here.
final thing, Aaron Judge can come off the that 10-day IL on August 5th. He has a right flexor strain or something, but they expect him to come back on August 5th from DH, which always doesn't make you feel great. Obviously,
Mhm.
it's good that he can play, but they need him if they don't have his bat. Where are they going?
Sure.
Are they going anywhere, frankly? So,
All right. Well, let's transition to the NFL.
yeah.
Not a ton going on except the Bengals, who are notoriously cheap. Trey Hendrickson came back from Florida, reported, kind of a good faith, like he's got to, listen, if you're going to start negotiations or continue, you should be around. He didn't practice, but he was there in attendance. And I don't know, maybe something will get done. But I just can't see them giving him TJ Watt money, or I don't know what Micah's going to get because they're notoriously cheap. The Bengals are.
Well, his Hendrickson is also 30, and that seems to be
Well,
like
that's true.
the only knock you
Are
can
you
come up
paying for
with.
what he did or what he could do?
Well, you're right, but also I think they're very close now because apparently the holdup is only over how much of the money is guaranteed. So I'll
Guaranteed.
I'll just pick numbers because if the best in the business besides him, who he's as good as these two other guys, they're making 40 million a year. They play his position. And if you just, no, I'm just saying, if you just think of 4 years, I'll just pick a number, 4 years, 40 million a year, 160 million. They're arguing, should that be 80 million guaranteed or 150 million guaranteed? That seems to be where the problem is. And I'm just picking the numbers for
Hey,
years.
That's Daniel Jones money.
Well, yeah, Hendrickson's not a quarterback, so Daniel Jones, who might be the starter now for the Colts. There's that's a battle now with Richardson.
Yeah, absolutely is a battle.
But I think Watt's one of the guys getting 40 million now, and Garrett from the Browns 40 million. He's right in that, on all the stats, he's right in that category.
So
So
when does Micah get paid?
just a colossal blunder. When you look back at now Jerry Jones over the last 30 years, they won in 95, so we're in the 30th year. I mean, the notion that they're America's team, the notion that they're even a really good team. Oh, we win 12 games every year in the regular season. So what?
So what?
They haven't been in a championship, an NFC championship game since they won the Super Bowl in 90.
95.
So how can you give
That's
me
30 years
America's
ago.
team? Um, I don't know what to say. You know me. I think they should have got out, and I don't know if Belichick would have done it, but they have a team that's really, really good. I think with Belichick as a coach, they would have been a Super Bowl contender. I'm not saying they would have won. And by the way, apparently, I think you can catch it tomorrow morning. There's a three-way conversation with Dabo Sweeney, Belichick, and somebody interviewing him.
Oh, I saw a preview for that. Is it funny?
Yeah, I didn't watch it because we were looking for something from 11 to 11:15 about today's baseball and maybe today's football. But whatever. So I just don't understand the Cowboys. But plus, their starting left tackle, Tyler Guyton, fractured a bone in his right leg. But it's 4 to 6 weeks. They thought it was an ACL, but it's not. Again, there's so many injuries. Comma. We have to go comma if they're
If
healthy.
they're healthy.
Browns lost another. Browns, their corner Martin Emerson Jr. tore his ACL. He's out for the season already.
Oh, that's so
He
sad.
started 24 of the last 26 Browns games. Miami in deeper trouble. Their corner Kader Coe. a season-ending knee injury. He averaged 13 starts per game the last 3 years. And Artie Burns on the same backfield is already out for the season. So they're in deep trouble. And didn't they trade Jalen Ramsey? I'm pretty sure they traded him.
They did.
So I actually saw the initial odds. Of course, Buffalo's the big favorite, but believe it or not, the Patriots are the second betting favorite to beat out Miami. And of course, the Jets are way back. I mean, they're just way
Jets
back.
are still way back.
Yeah, I think they're plus, again, I had looked at it briefly. They're like plus 3,000 or something to win.
Wow. Well, I mean,
To win the
Justin Fields,
division, Joe. To win the
what's
division.
that? To
To
win
win
the
the
division.
division.
I mean, until Justin Fields proves that he can be, I mean, I don't know what. Well,
We
again,
should
I don't think you're a team with if you don't have a quarterback. I'm not sure about. He's one of the greatest mobile guys I've seen some crazy runs, but he doesn't necessarily get the ball out on time. And I don't know. Can he get better? Sure, but I'm not sure he's with a defensive coach, Aaron Glenn. I don't know what. It's
we
kind of
we
like the Jets. It's like every year they're like, okay, they're not. Something happens.
we should still talk briefly about that terrible thing in New York City,
Oh
345
my
Park
goodness
Avenue
gracious,
between
absolutely.
51st and 52nd. This guy was looking to get to the NFL. But here's the problem that I don't think people have focused on. Remember Hernandez on the Patriots, the
Of
tight end,
course, Aaron Hernandez.
the other side of Gronk. He was a real good
Oh,
player.
great player.
He wound up killing two people, I think, right?
He killed.
At least one, maybe two.
Well, no, he's a serial killer. He killed two in Boston, and he killed his girlfriend's sister's boyfriend,
Okay,
and he
he
actually
was
shot one of
he
his
was
drug
tried
dealers in
and
the eye. Almost killed four.
he was tried and convicted,
Yeah.
but he was on appeal and he died, and they found out that he had CTE.
Yes.
That terrible brain thing that a lot of football players frankly get. You can't tell they have it until they're dead.
Right.
I'm not defending this guy, Shane Tomorrow. I'm not defending him at all. But he shot himself in the chest and left a note. Please check my brain. I have
Right.
CTE.
That's what
Now,
Junior Seau did
Hernandez,
that.
Hernandez, under the weird rules of Massachusetts, because his appeal wasn't um, the appeal wasn't decided, he is not a convicted murderer in the state of Massachusetts. I don't know what it is in other states, nor does it really matter. I mean, he killed a bunch of guys, but CTE makes you just a totally different guy, the mild guy. I forget the cornerback. We talked about him before. The cornerback of the Bears was one of the first guys who shot himself in the chest. Usually you shoot yourself in the
Yeah,
head.
Junior Seau did that too.
Right. Shot himself in the chest and said, please check. And every time they've done that, the guy has had CTE. Now, is that an excuse for murder? That's a tough one because you're
No,
murdering
it's not.
people. That's not going to be a defense. Um, but I wouldn't be surprised. And again, not defending this guy at all. I wouldn't be. I mean, he killed a police officer, Officer Islam, and I think
What's the
three or
point? What's
four
the
other
purpose of
people.
that?
Uh, he was trying to get to the NFL offices because he blames the NFL for the CTE, even though I think he was only a high school
He didn't
player.
play in the NFL.
Exactly. So, but I know from doing a little research on this stuff um, that you can get CTE just from playing in high school. If you bang heads every day, it doesn't matter what level you're at. You could be at high school, you could be in college, and they already have found plenty of people. It's hard to get brains. People have to donate their brain to that center up in Boston, and a lot of kids now, younger kids, 20-year-old, 21-year-olds, even high school kids are playing just at that level and having CTE. Again, not defending any of their actions, but it's interesting that your behavior goes so bad and you know there's something wrong that you literally shoot yourself in the chest and leave a note. And you're right, Junior Seau did it, and he did have a bad case. So these are terrible things that are happening. Obviously, the NFL is going to have to come up in their building because he was trying to get to their floor. Somehow he wound up on the wrong floor. Now
What was he
he's
gonna
killing
what
innocent
was he
people.
gonna do up there?
He's going to shoot as many NFL people as he could, I guess.
And the purpose of that is what? He didn't play in the NFL.
You're right. You're right. But it's a little scary to me as a New Yorker who frankly used to work at 375 Park Avenue
That's
for a
pretty
few
close.
years, which is very close. But it's I mean they show him walking in with a shotgun or a machine gun type
You know
thing.
where he got that?
and he just went in and started firing. Apparently, he let a woman get out of the elevator and didn't kill her, and then got up and went up to the wrong floor and was shooting
Well, he's
people.
very chivalrous, apparently.
Uh,
He bought that from his supervisor in Las Vegas.
yeah,
Sold him the gun and a car.
it's
Not that
I don't know what to
he
say.
knew what was going to happen or whatever, but
It's horrific, and now, as always, after the fact, they'll put in even more.
I mean,
It is pretty tough. You can't walk into a skyscraper in Midtown Manhattan without going through.
of course. Well,
Got to go to a
he
desk.
killed with the security guard.
Yeah, so it's a very sad thing, and not defending the guy at all, but I won't be surprised if he has CTE.
And I do believe, and Aaron Hernandez was trying to skirt a rule so his fiance could get the insurance money as well. I think they overturned that because it was antiquated. It's to me, it's still a law. I mean, it was in the books. Like I believe that was fought and it was overturned, and I'd have to look that up. Either
Yeah,
way, he was a serial killer.
I hate to wrap up on a sad note, but I think
No, I know. We were
yeah,
going to talk
no,
about
no,
another sad note, but Ryne Sandberg, of course,
that's another
very
sad note.
sensitive spot for Phillies fans because we was their property. They traded him to the Cubs, and he became a Hall of Famer.
And a legit Hall of Famer. This isn't really a conversation. I mean, one of the greatest second basemen of all time, 9-star, 9-year, 9-time Gold Glove
Oh
winner.
yeah,
Um, I think they said Alomar was an Alomar had 10. Only one person had more than he did. He also held the record for a while, 123 straight games as a second baseman
an
without
error.
error, 584 chances. That's pretty
I thought
good.
Manny Trio was pretty close. Maybe he broke Manny Trio's record, but okay.
Maybe, but when you're a 10-time All-Star and a 9-time Gold Glove winner, and also the NL MVP in 1984, they won a couple of divisions while he was there, but as the Cubs were, didn't make it to the World Series,
Well,
certainly.
they had a two-game to none lead in a best of five against the Padres, and the Padres won the next three, and then they went and lost to Detroit, I think.
And the thing I like about him, and I think this was from his Hall of Fame speech, but the thing, and this is almost quaint nowadays, but still should be true, that the name on the front of your jersey is much more important than the name on the back of your jersey.
Sure.
And that's so cool to hear a guy like him, a superstar Hall of Famer, say that. Sometimes it gets lost in the shuffle in all sports, I think, but that's the way it should be. In fact, I think I also heard him say, when you hit a home run, just keep your head down, run around the bases.
Why
He's a
not?
climber. But I always go back to Mickey Mantle when, they're talking about bat flips and how cool they are and how great it is. And, a kid in the Little League got suspended from playing in a championship game because he flipped the bat, and that's against Little League rules. He actually went to court and got a judge to let him play in the championship game. I don't know who won. I think it was yesterday. But it's just, the sickness where they used to ask Mantle. He always ran, if you watch any old films of Mickey Mantle, he ran around the bases with his head down on the ground. And they asked him, why do you do that? Why do you run around with it? He goes, I already embarrassed the pitcher by hitting a home run off him. I don't want to embarrass him again. I mean, to me, that's cool.
That's very cool.
Most other people, it's not.
That's
But,
very cool.
it's Barry Sanders giving the ball to the referee after he scored a touchdown.
It's cool.
Act
It's
like you've
cool.
been there before. But these things are all kind of lost now in the shuffle.
I agree. I think it's cool when you kind of Devontae Smith, the touchdown against the Chiefs Super Bowl. He got up, threw the ball to the ref, was like, here.
What a concept.
You know what I mean? What a concept. Hey, great stuff, man. You catch Steve's stuff daily on his Facebook forum page. Speaking of sports with Steve Kallas, his videos on westchestercountypost.com. You could catch this podcast on YouTube and all the other audio outlets. You can follow me on Instagram at JoeStaszak4799 and on Twitter X at JoeStaszak975. Great stuff, man. By the way, you didn't have to send me those readers. I got them in the mail today. That was very nice of you. My glasses.
Yeah.
I'm wearing them
Well,
now, but
I
I
said I
appreciate
went
it.
to
I
UP.
thought I ordered them on. I'm like, what are these? They're nice in a case. I'm like, oh, Steve
Yeah.
Callis. I'm like, oh man, you don't have to do that. I appreciate that.
I went to UPS, and the guy behind UPS, who, by the way, went to the University of Pennsylvania, we were talking about. I said, we're sending him, it's going to Malvern. He goes, I know Malvern. I went to the University of Pennsylvania.
Oh
Okay.
no.
The guy was cool. The guy was cool, but I didn't even know if UPS, which I just held up the case and said, can you guys ship this? And he goes, Yeah, I got a box for that. Don't worry. Everything is good.
Yeah, you
Uh,
certainly didn't have to. I thought I ordered, I'm like, what did I order this on Amazon? I forgot. Like I'm
I
looking at it, it's like
no,
in a
and
case, it's all nice.
I said to him, my buddy at the wedding reception, left him on the table. He must have forgot him. He went home, and the guy goes, "Must have been a hell of a party." So I'm glad you got him because,
I appreciate that.
yeah.
It was a very fun time. I know you're off on your honeymoon tomorrow, so have a great time, brother. I'll put this up right now, and then are we connecting next week, or am I doing it with Rick?
No, you're doing it with Rick. He wants to do it on Saturday, not Friday.
That sounds good to me.
But reach out to him, and he can do Saturday, and then the following weekend, whichever day is best for you two. Then I'll be back.
Have a great time, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, pal. Appreciate you watching, folks, and we'll catch you next time.